Aloha. Just gonna take some time here to comment on the Maui fires, in particular in Lahaina. It's been a heavy couple weeks, and it's taken me a while to kind of take everything in, and I stayed off the internet and social media talking about this because it hits close to home. For those of you that don't know, I was born here in Oahu, but grew up in Maui for elementary school. I lived in Lahaina Town, went to Sacred Hearts there in the town for elementary school, and both Sacred Hearts and Kamehameha III, the two elementary schools in the town, are completely burnt to the ground. Our old home in Puamana, where we used to ride bikes to school, is completely leveled. That whole neighborhood is decimated. I've got countless friends and families whose lives have been ruined by this fire, many without their homes, and unfortunately some that have lost their lives. So in any event, you see everything that's happening on the news right now. They're talking about, everyone's pointing fingers at each other, whether it be the electric company, them not releasing fires, and having been a firefighter myself, I couldn't even imagine not being able to fight the fire. Just having a lack of water, and this, everyone's talking about the civil defense people not, doing the sirens. It's just awful. But in any event, the town's not going to be the same from a real estate perspective. A lot of that commercial real estate most likely will not be able to be rebuilt. I've heard some of it is uninsurable, or was not insurable prior to the fire. A lot of those, trophy properties along the water, like Kimo's Lahaina Yacht Club, I highly doubt the state will let them rebuild with the new shoreline setback regulations. So it's never going to be the same town. There's just so much history there, and a lot of sad between the life, property, and history that's no longer there. Most of the residential single-family home products, I mentioned Puamana Nui's gone. Most of Lahaina Town, Waihakuli. As far as condominiums go, there's some that kind of made it. Lahaina Shores along Front Street was still standing. However, the retail commercial property 505 Front Street next door is completely gone. And then you've also got another concrete building along the water there. Lahaina Roads is still standing. From what I can see, at least. I'm not boots on the ground. And then you've got some of the newer construction products that Stanford Carr did recently with Kahoma Village, and it looks like some of those made it through. But a lot of that, the condominiums, I couldn't even just imagine. Just being in real estate here, there's a reason why you have insurance, because I never in a million years could just picture an entire complex just being decimated. People do have fear of that building collapse in Miami that happened a few years back, and that's never happened here as far as just a structural failure. But some of this stuff was just catastrophic, and no one could have ever predicted. Growing up in Lahaina, my first reaction to this was we had fires all the time, but they were controlled burn fires where they're burning the sugarcane fields, and you'd see ashes in the sky, and we had them all the time. But if you recall back through the 80s and maybe into early 90s, you'd fly into Lahaina and Kaanapali, and you have beautiful green ag land up in the hills. And then what's been happening since the ag's gone, it's just all this brush that's blowing in. And so it's just really sad. In my opinion, when I've been talking to people, everything that could go wrong went wrong. Like if you wanted to have a disaster, like on every level, unfortunately, Lahaina has experienced it. So with a heavy heart, I feel like I've had my hands tied from Oahu. There's a lot of changes happening. I know people that are migrating and moving to Oahu from Maui. Some within my own family are talking about it now. Fortunately, my family members are safe, but it's just been a heavy time. So those of you that can't make it there physically, because they're not recommending people jumping on airplanes and adding chaos to the mix there. However, some very good reputable sites we've heard about are donating through the Hawaii Community Foundation, the Maui Food Bank, Red Cross, etc. Because as we have seen in the news, it's taking forever for the federal government to step in. So any kukui could do that direction would be awesome. And Mahalo for listening for my 2 cents on this, and we continue to pray to God. And like I said early on, unfortunately, Sacred Heart School is demolished. The silver lining in all of this is, and God does answer prayers, and there are blessings, and that Lanakila Church is still standing there right in the heart of Lahaina Town. I've seen the photos and the videos. There's green grass all around it too on top of that. So it is a miracle. The church is saved. And yeah, keep Mau in your prayers. Like I said, there's over 2,000 students that are no longer enrolled in school due to the loss of both these elementary schools in the town. There are 18 firefighters whose personal homes are completely gone. There's countless people who've lost their homes and businesses. So, and please keep Lahaina in your thoughts and in your prayers, and we're all gonna work to get through this. Mahalo.